Scorpio, this is your week ahead astrology forecast from Astrology Motivation by Born Without Boundaries. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. Here we are going to go through the major planetary aspects and transits and how they impact your natal sun throughout the week of April 18th through April 24th. I got my notes. You guys know I don't do this without them. Now, we're going to start really broad. We're going to start with the major planetary motions that are impacting everybody, and then we're going to whittle it down more specifically to how they're impacting you guys, and then just the specific things that are of particular interest to Scorpios, and then we'll get down to natal suns and exactly how all this energy is impacting your natal sun. Now, I don't know where your natal sun is located, so I'm going to give you estimates via the decans. A decan is a group of 10 degrees. So every zodiac sign is a total of 30 degrees. So every zodiac sign has 3 decans. So if your natal sun is between 0 and 9 degrees Scorpio, your natal sun is located in the first decan. So I'm going to refer to you guys as Scorpio 1. If your natal sun is located between 10 and 19 degrees Scorpio, you are located in the second decan, so I'm going to refer to you guys as Scorpio 2. And then, if your natal sun is located between 20 and 29 degrees Scorpio, your natal sun is located in the third decan, and I'm going to refer to you guys as Scorpio 3. Now, I'll give you estimates with dates. Dates are a little bit more general, right? Because there's Scorpio season doesn't begin and end at the same time every year. I know it seems like it does because that's what if you are, October this to November this, you're a Scorpio. That is not true. You're a Scorpio if the sun was in the zodiac sign of Scorpio on the day that you were born. And that actually toggles throughout time. It's around the same place, absolutely. But it could be very different each time. So I will let you guys, so the most accurate way is to know where your natal sun is located. That is found on your natal chart. If you want your natal chart, it's free. All you have to do is search it online. A bunch of websites will pop up that will give you a free natal chart. You'll need your birth date, your birth time, and your birth location, and you just put them in and it'll spit it right out for you. You can find all that stuff on your birth certificate. Who am I talking to? I'm talking to Scorpios. You guys already have your natal charts. I know you do. I know you do. There's actually big stuff going on this week. Like, I think I hinted upon it last week, but it's going down this week. So this week, there's a couple of things happening. The sun transits into Taurus on April 20th. That kind of changes. It's almost like it almost changes our mood or our modality. The sun is also going to be participating in a new moon. This is between the 19th and the 20th. So early on the 20th. And actually the sun leaves Aries and goes into Taurus about an hour after this new moon happens. Now, this new moon is a new moon. It's pretty special in and of itself because it is conjunct Jupiter and it is square to Pluto. Hello. But beyond that, there's also a solar eclipse. And a solar eclipse, we, like in the Northern Hemisphere, United States, Europe, we won't really see it. But if you're located in India, Australia, you'll see it. You'll be able to see it happening, and it'll start off like a little ring around the black spot that is the moon, and then the moon will look to like it gets bigger, so it'll become a total eclipse, and then it'll go back to an annular eclipse, which is when there's that little ring around the black dot in the middle. It's going to be spectacular, so if you guys can catch it and wear the eye protective gear and stuff. You shouldn't be looking directly at the sun. All that stuff is online. I'm no expert with that. But oh my God, if you could catch that on, it's going to be beautiful. If you're located in an area where you're going to see it, definitely enjoy the skies, guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just the best shows in the world go on up there. Quite beautiful. Now, another big thing that happens this week, Mercury goes into retrograde. I can almost promise you, especially a specific group of you have been feeling this for the past week. It is not going to begin for you on April 21st. It officially goes retrograde on April 21st. Absolutely. It goes stationary. It's stationary during the time of the eclipse. So it's almost like communication stands still. But you've already been feeling this. I can promise you have, because Mercury is in Taurus. And Taurus is directly opposite to Scorpio, which means it is in opposition, maybe quincunx, to your natal suns. This is not an easy Mercury retrograde for you guys. I'm just going to let you know that right now. It is going to be super rough. It won't let you be. It doesn't mean it won't generate some good outcomes, but it will not let you be. And that's how I know you guys have already been feeling it already. So between this new moon solar eclipse that is conjunct to Jupiter and square to Pluto, I mean, can you say kaboom? Because that is legitimately an atom bomb. I mean, square to Pluto is just formidable. It doesn't take no for an answer. It gets obsessive. It can be almost a bully. It's just that aggressive. And with Jupiter there, it's like explosion, because Jupiter exacerbates everything. And then we have just the fact that it's a new moon saying, hey, it's almost like, let me say, it's almost like I'm busting out of here. It has that mentality to it. It has that mentality of we're busting out tonight. Like, we're not taking this crap anymore. No matter what we have to risk, no matter what we have to lose, we're going to take this shot. That is the mentality of this new moon. This new moon don't give a fuck. So I love it. I love it. I just don't exactly know what to expect from it. Always leave your comments below. You know I love to know. Let's get into the things that are going to impact the Scorpios should always pay attention to. Mars and Pluto, always. They are your ruling dignitaries. Pluto is your modern ruler, and Mars is your traditional ruler. Now, Mars hasn't just stopped and rolled over and stopped impacting you. Mars actually probably impacts you more day to day. Pluto is your undertone, and Mars is your day to day, because Mars is actually an inner planet and it impacts you more consistently. So Mars now is in Cancer, which is a really, it's a harmonious energy to Scorpio, usually. Mars will move between 12 and 15 degrees Cancer between April 18th and 24th. It is all week long. It is square to Chiron, and it is sextile to Mercury conjunct Uranus, because that's right, Mercury and Uranus are still conjunct for most of this week. Mercury will go retrograde, like I said, on the 21st, but Mars is still very much going to be sextile to it. What does that mean? Oh, you're taking action. Taking action on discovery, taking action on getting something done. Maybe something is going to surprise you with the way that it works out this time, even though it may not have worked out for you in the past, but that is almost like why you're driven to do it, because there was some sort of injury or challenge or suffering that you had to experience. And now it's like, I want to move forward. I want to take this chance. Now, be careful. When Mars is square to Chiron, now that's general, right? We don't know how Mars is impacting your natal sun yet, though we'll get into it. But when Mars is square to Chiron, there's always more potential for injury. So there's a lot of kaboom going on here. Now Mars is in Cancer, so it's probably more emotional or have to do with like the family unit. So just pay particular interest to this. If this is just pay particular interest to this. I think that it is definitely like, it's almost like the sacrificial lamb, the sense of throwing yourself on the bomb for somebody because it's important to you. It's like that overall mentality of just, I'll do anything to get this done. Just, I want you to be on the other side of it when you do. So don't be so quick to throw your life on the line or throw your job away. Like there could very well be that energy for you guys this week. You know, just being ruthless, or, you know, either being ruthless or completely sacrificial. And it's just like, you don't have to. You don't have to. There's always more than two ways to get what you want, and to get through things. But Scorpios, this week will be a challenge for you to not take things to the extreme, I guess is what I'm saying. Now, Pluto is square to the nodes, which it will stay for actually a couple months into July. It's also quincunx to Venus, and on the 23rd, it's quincunx to Venus between the 22nd and the 25th, but on the 23rd, Venus is conjunct the moon, and it's quincunx to Pluto. This could be very aggressive energy, almost a sense of being so frustrated because you want something so bad, or you're so attracted to something, being a little bit more domineering when it comes to going after what you want those couple of days, but we'll see how it impacts you guys directly. Pluto is square to the sun, which means Pluto is square to the sun during this new moon. And that is what's making it so combustible, part of what's making it so combustible. And Pluto is going to be opposite the moon on the 27th. Expect that to be an especially emotional day. Whenever Pluto and the moon are in opposition to each other, it's just really rupturous crying, ugly crying, outbursts, just extreme emotions all day long. It's only for like a day, but just be aware of it. That's the 27th. Let's get into the decans, right? And let's see how this is impacting your natal suns. Scorpio 1, your natal suns are conjunct to the south node. They have been and they will be for a couple more months now, which means, naturally, they are in opposition to the north node. There is a sense of really understanding, tick-tock, tick-tock. I have to get comfortable with who I am in order to move forward, and really starting to think about that journey in your life. With Pluto sitting right in the middle of the nodes, there is a sense that this is a major turning point in your lives. This is a major turning point in who you are. All week long, your natal suns are going to be in opposition to the sun, the current sun. This can bring up some friction, some ego clashes, some clashes with your own ego, being a little big in the head, also a sense of maybe even questioning your self-esteem, or questioning like your self-worth or self-value. So this can be a almost egotistical energy where it's like, it's arrogance, not confidence. There is a sense of overpowering about it, but it's wrought with dissonance. It's not necessarily coming from a very productive place. FYI, that means that you are also in opposition to the new moon and solar eclipse, and square to Pluto. So there is tremendous change, and for you guys especially, just self-assertion in that change, a dynamic pulse to who you are that people can find driven and productive, but also overbearing and manipulative. FYI, and that new moon solar eclipse, holy crap. I mean, I just think it's going to impact you in a huge way, and I'd like to understand how your natal suns long term are going to be trine to Saturn and quincunx to Neptune. So there is a sense of kind of holding on to, well, this is a law, this is what you promised, this is what you said would happen, but it can get a little bit delusional. It can get a little bit just because somebody said it doesn't mean they still feel it, right? Or a false sense of security when you sign a piece of paper or make a promise, or a false sense of security in the established, or what has been contracted, things like that. That's sort of long term, so that might be a mentality right now. This week is just going to be very intense for you. So you let me know in the comments below how it is impacting you guys. Scorpio 2s. You are in direct opposition to Mercury as it goes retrograde. it will be you guys that will be impacted by this Mercury retrograde most profoundly right through May 2nd until Mercury retrogrades all the way back into the first decan. But even then, I think you guys are going to feel it. There is just this sense of kind of being stuck with this Mercury retrograde because you're also in opposition to Uranus, which means in the beginning of the week, you're in opposition to Mercury conjunct Uranus. And it's pretty much conjunct Uranus all week, even after it goes into retrograde. So there's this sense of genius, brilliant discovery, or complete technological like falling apart that just surprises everybody, and it's sitting in direct opposition to your natal sun. So there can be a lot of tech disruptions for you guys this week, or a disruptive and surprising breakthrough that even in the long term, if it's good, it will kind of shake your world and shake things up for you while it's happening. Your natal suns are going to be trine to Mars this week. That's really beautiful energy. There's a sense of settling into how you move, fluency in your body. Great time to take dance classes. Great time to enjoy your body, being physical, harmonious with the way things feel to you. Even your sexuality is on an upward swing. It's like you're finding harmony and catharsis with your physical self. And then you're also this week quincunx to Venus, which means there could be just an extra sense of expectation when it comes to how people appreciate you, or expectation toward who you appreciate that might not live up to all that you expected. And then you have a long-term aspect with a quincunx to Chiron, which is just agitation and frustration that could be inspiring you to try to make a purpose or find a purpose in your pain and your suffering, finding that reason why, and a way to try to find productivity in what you have experienced. And with Chiron, that's always helping to heal others. That's where you begin with Chiron and healing through Chiron. Scorpio 3s, your long term is a square to Saturn and a trine to Neptune. If you are a Scorpio, Sagittarius cusp, especially, your natal suns will be square to Saturn. The trine to Neptune is actually really harmonious and really beautiful for creativity. There's a sense of beautiful psychic energy that is really happening right now, and it could challenge the norm, right? That's where that square to Saturn is all year long, that sense of challenging the norm, challenging what has been documented, what is measurable, what is seen, what has been contracted, what is expected, even challenging authority figures. But there's some real intense vibrations coming through spirituality over religion, right? A sense of psychic abilities and energies over the 3D world and the laws of gravity. And then we have a sextile to Pluto, which means all of Pluto's behaviors and actions are opening opportunities for you, and they're very active during the new moon. So definitely look for those potential opportunities that Pluto will be opening up for you guys long term, but especially because I think he's blowing a hole in the wall. And if he's blowing a hole in the prison wall, you guys are the first ones out. Let's put it that way. And that's long term. All of these for you guys are long term. So it's going to be all year long. Let me know in the comments below, but especially when Pluto is really active like he is this week, please, please, please know that that's actually going to prove very, very productive for you and open up a lot of opportunities. So let me know in the comments below. I love, love, love you guys. I hope that you will subscribe to this channel if you're not already. And come on over to Born Without Boundaries Tarot to get your week ahead tarot card reading. I will see you guys next week.